तो बताइए फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन कौन सा दिया था मैंने?
What motivates you to achieve your goals?
यस, दिस क्वेश्चन जो है बेसिकली क्या है ना, ये आपको हर इंटरव्यू में पूछा जा सकता है कि जो कि देखिए यूपीएससी बहुत बड़ी जर्नी है। तो ऐसा क्या है कि जो आपको मोटिवेट करता रहता है कि आप इस जर्नी में अभी तक लगे हुए हैं? मतलब व्हाट मोटिवेट्स यू टू अचीव योर गोल बेसिकली। ये मतलब ये गोल कोई भी हो सकता है, ऐसा केवल यूपीएससी में। जैसे किसी का डॉक्टर बनना है, किसी का इंजीनियर बनना है, या फिर किसी का आईएएस बनना है। तो ऐसा क्या है कि जो आपको मोटिवेट करता रहता है बेसिकली आपके गोल को? सो नाउ टेल।
My biggest motivation is my purpose, which drives me to work harder towards my goal. And second thing, my biggest motivator is my family, for whom I have to work hard. And next, the small improvement which I do on a daily basis and the learning attitude is all the things gives me motivations and help me to stay sustained in this difficult season.
अच्छा, तो बेसिकली यू हैव मेंशनड टू मेजर थिंग्स व्हिच मोटिवेट्स यू। फर्स्ट योर पर्पज, राइट, एंड सेकंड योर फैमिली, राइट? हेलो?
Right.
ओके फाइन। पर्पज की मीन्स योर पर्पज इज वेरी डिटरमिन्ड and you want to achieve that purpose, that motivates you, fine. Second, family, okay, fine. But you can mention some major point actually, okay, the ongoing corruption and atrocities and problems in society, so that I see every day through newspaper, through media and all, which keep on triggering me to solve those problems basically. But right now I am incapable to solve it. But when I will get the authority actually, then I will have greater potential to solve those problems actually. So that motivates me. That is internal motivation actually. Family purpose, that is okay. But you tell this actually. I have seen child labor, I have seen atrocities against women. So which actually keep me triggering to achieve my goal, so that I can become a good IAS officer and I can solve to my best level of their problem basically. That should be your first answer. I mean, first point. What motivates you? Family and other external motivation basically. Internally जो what है? Self service, public service feelings basically. So this is called public service to dedication. Dedication to public service. That should be your first answer to this question. Second, you can mention like that. कि I have habit of making my each day masterpiece. It means कि today at night when I go to bed, so I analyze my mistake. The next day I want to go one step ahead of the previous day actually. So this is my actually habit to improve my mistake again and again, and that's actually habit will help me to achieve my goal. That's what you can do, mention. So basically this is called internal motivation. See, they are not checking कि you are influenced by someone else, that's you're going to become an IAS. No, that are secondary actually. Because there are various person who have come for preparation of UPSC because of family pressure. You go and prepare for UPSC, but they are not able to clear because they have no internal motivation. Why you want to? So tell your qualities actually, rather than family and friend circle and other thing. Tell your own problem actually. Okay, that is what I see which motivates me basically. So there should be the, see here everybody will answer, but you know what, they will check your internal passion actually for this examination. And let me tell you, without passion none can clear this UPSC examination, at least at this age. No, because this much tough examination is there. I mean, toughness is very high in UPSC examination to get rank in the basically UPSC final list. Very tough. And without internal motivation, how can one achieve basically? No. So this is what they are checking basically. Okay, what is your internal motivation basically, not an external one basically. Okay, no, I'm influenced by that as okay, that's why I'm preparing. No. These are external. Till yours internal basically. So always keep that in mind. I told you already, see basically they are not checking your knowledge. They are checking how you represent your thoughts, and in those 25 minutes they will check you internally. What kind of person you are actually. They will check in those 25 minutes. This is the natural meaning of interview basically. They will check basically which kind of, I mean, I mean, which kind of person you are, what is your morale basically, how you handle the pressure basically. They can put you some situation, basically case study, how will you handle this situation. So I mean, they will check. I mean, in that situation, they will put you in some situation. You have to answer the question basically immediately. So that is what they will check it. Second question.
What is the two biggest problem of India?
Okay, now see, being a UPSC aspirant basically, see this question everybody knows. Let me tell you, this question everybody knows. But why this question actually will be asked, if they will ask? So you have to keep that in mind. Okay, why they are asking? So what are the two biggest problem of India? Now tell.
In my opinion, the two biggest problem of India is underutilization of its demographic dividend. As we all know that India is the largest demographic dividend. Despite of that, our youth are unemployed and unemployment rate is high. And the second problem which comes to my mind is quality education, which is related to the first problem that we have seen the number of enrollment ratio in our country are high, but despite of that, our youth are lacking in the skills which are needed for the upcoming market. So to deal with it, we can promote quality education, teacher training, and to promote academia and industry linkages so as to utilize our youth to its best potential in order to achieve the Viksit Bharat goal for 2047.
So basically, you are telling first demographic dividend and second quality education, right? Right? Am I right?
Right.
But don't you think they both are the same thing? They both are the same thing basically. See, because India does not have quality education, that's why we are not able to utilize our demographic dividend. So both are the same thing, na? So it's better that you tell one thing separately and one thing totally separate. There should be no linkage between them, because they are checking how deep you can think basically. See, you are telling that India is not able to utilize its full potential of demographic dividend, which is the highest in the world right now. Yes, this is of course a very big problem of India right now, very big problem, because in just after 20 years, India is going to suffer from this problem, because these same population will get old actually, and that will be a problem for India. So that is the biggest problem. There is no doubt about that. But why it is happening? Because of quality of education. So link with that, na, followed by quality education, like a quality education. Don't make it separate point. Because see, rather you can mention this lack of social capital in India. So that will include more horizon pattern, like health. People are not healthy actually. In India, there is a survey, and they are getting that actually young people even not healthy actually. They are suffering from sometimes this issue, sometimes diabetes, sometimes headache, sometimes cancer, sometimes this problem. So they are not actually healthy, and healthy body, healthy minds lives in a healthy body actually. So you can mention like that instead of quality education. You mention lack of social capital in India. That will include skills, because see, this is the age of technology, and most of the Indian people, basically young generations, are having what? Traditional educations. Basically, they are not have AI knowledge, chat GPT and all. So that is going to eat the job basically. So that is the biggest problem. So mention this word rather. Social capital, lack of skills, required skill of the market. Second thing, lack of health facility basically, and education. So these are the six things should be merged with. Then you say demographic dividend. So this should only hold one point actually. You summarize like you say like that. Okay, the biggest problem right now in India is, according to me, mention like that according to me, that demographic India is not able to utilize demographic dividend due to, then mention like due to lack of social capital. Example, not good health facilities. Second, lack of quality education, and third, lack of required skill in the market. This will be your first point actually. In just 1 minute you have to mention all these things. The second point you can tell some other point, so they will think that okay, you have greater actually opportunity basically. You have a greater opportunity basically. Second thing you can give basically the example of, you know what, you can give the basically example of you politics. You can give basically there is a communal politics is going on, that is actually harming the communal harmony of the society basically. Criminalization of politics basically. So that you can mention. So they will understand कि okay, you are focusing on that side as well. But yet don't mention any party name. Just mention कि party politics. Mention the politics actually. That is one of the biggest problem in India basically. I mean democracy is in danger basically. And that is not said by me. It has been said by the Freedom House report. In India, democracy is in danger basically. Because democracy is not just about election. It is about how you are able to express yourself. And you can give example right now that Cockroach Janata Party, what is going on in Jantar Mantar and all. This is what? This is danger to democracy basically. So you mention, I mean, try to see. They are asking, see, if they will ask one problem, then you mention demographic dividend. If they are asking second, na, so second point should be totally different from the other one. Not merge, because quality education is just semi link with demographic dividend basically. So never say like that. You just to tell us either you can say climate change, landslide, earthquake, all these things are coming in India. That is also big problem which is going to be happen. Every year, most of the people, see, right now Assam is getting flood basically. Many people have got isolated basically. So you tell other point actually, not only that quality education, are the same thing are the linked basically. So always keep that in mind. I see, they are checking your internal ability basically. Yeah, how you are able to answer in front of the seniors. Because they will be 4 to 5% were selected actually otherwise. So they will ask basically. Third question.
Explain how MP have contributed in our national development.
Yeah, this is a state-specific question. They are definitely going to ask from this question. One question, not only in this, in every interview, if you will give state PCS, either UPSC or any, so they will definitely going to ask from the state you belong to basically. So tell, what is the contribution of MP in India, in India's development? Tell.
Okay. MP, which is often called as Heart of India, have made significant contributions. For example, in the agricultural sector, we are producing the largest quantities of crop like wheat, soybean, pulses. Second thing is reaching mineral resources such as coal, limestone, copper, diamond. This supports power generation and cement production thirdly, MP also contribute in the environmental conservation. For example, MP is the state with the largest forest cover and multiple national parks and wildlife sanctuaries, which plays an important role in biodiversity conservation. Thirdly, fourthly, MP is also a culturally rich state. For example, the UNESCO heritage sites of Ranchi and Betka are present in MP, which contribute to the tourism sector of our country. So overall, I can see that MP is important in industrial sector, manufacturing sector with multiple automobile, pharmaceutical and textile sectors, which is contributing in the overall economic growth of country.
Okay, fine. Most of the points are correct basically, but one thing, major point you have missed basically, at international level, or the contribution of MP at international level as well. See, you have told first agriculture, of course, because there are various crop actually in which India is at good rank at international level, and in that contribution MP has given great contribution. For example, soybean, pulse, even mustard. So they are the premium crop of MP basically, and MP has given great contribution. So first this is right. Second, you told about minerals. Yes, because manganese, MP is first rank. Even copper, MP has good reserves and production basically. Those help in steel and cement industries. Fine. Third, you told about environment. Yes, you told that basically India has the largest forest cover basically. If I talk about area wise, so yes, so that protect the environment in a way. And more on the thing which you not told, tiger reserve. So it protect the biodiversity as well, help in, because MP has the largest number of tiger reserve in India basically. So that is also good contribution. Fourth, you talked about cultural diversity basically. Basically, you talked about India has Bhimbetka, Khajuraho, and these attract people not only from India but also from international level as a tourist basically. That is fine. But at the same time, you should add with soft power of India, because these things encourage the other persons to come in India and build a diaspora basically. So basically, you link with that. This further help in increasing soft power in India, which is in high demand at present time at international level. Basically. So basically, see, okay, most of the points you are right, but something you are missing actually. First thing, tiger, you have biodiversity, you have missed, because MP has a greater contribution in that. Second thing, soft power you should link with. Then tribes, cultural diversity. MP has the largest number of tribes basically in all over India basically. If I talk about in number, na, so MP has the largest number of tribes. So this helps in unity and diversity of India basically. Yes. This helps. So that is the point you can mention. So see, everybody knows these points actually. But that time to say in those 1 minute actually how diversified you are, they are just checking that only. Next question.
Explain recent Supreme Court judgment that caught your attention.
Yes, see, this is the things actually they are asking two things. You are aware of current affair first. And second thing, how do you take that current affairs? I mean, how do you read the current affairs? How deep you read? They are checking this only. So they are two things. Are you aware of current affair, what is happening? And second thing, how deep you study the current affair basically. So till now answer.
One recent judgment which comes to my mind is the Supreme Court ruling of environmental clearances. It states that the environmental clearances should be obtained before the start of the project and struck down the post facto clearances. And this judgment was played a significant role in the environmental conservation, and the Supreme Court followed the principle of sustainable development for the environmental conservation.
So what is that name of judgment?
Name of judgment, sorry, I do not know the exact name.
Then don't
I
mention.
just know the grounds.
Then don't mention that I have read this judgment.
Maybe recently I have.
No. So this is what I'm telling, na. Then don't tell tell other judgment then. The judgment which you know perfectly. For example, Puttaswamy case. For example, Kesmanand Bharti
They are
case.
asking.
You have to tell the particular judgment name, then tell that this judgment this has led to basically. See, the thing which you are telling, environmental clearance, okay, fine. Because the same logic is Supreme Court has followed in that Aravalli range as well. That what was happening basically. But you have to tell the exact judgment basically. And let me tell you, Atya Foundation is very, very much eager to know your current affair knowledge. Let me tell you. Last year I have given, and there was 4 questions from current affair only, and that was very factual as well. Very factual question they have asked basically. See, last year when I was giving the interview, so that time a special intensive revision was going on. 5 September my interview was there. So see, they have asked this question. They have not asked this question, what is special revision, special intensive revision in case of election. They have asked when was the last special intensive revision happened in India. Now see how factual it is. Who will be able to remember? It was around 2002 and 4. So see, I mean, so they check you both actually. You are reading the current affair, you are linking with the background or not actually. So always keep that in mind. Within 10 days current affair, what is happening now? I mean, suppose that your interview is on 10th of August. So 10 days before the newspaper, they can ask anything. Always keep that in mind. So current affair, be updated, very much updated and deep updated basically. They can ask other current affair as well, which is going on 1 year back as well. But most of the time, because see, they are mostly ISR, IPS officer who will be taking your interview. So they must be reading the newspaper daily before going to the office, because they are in their habit. So those current affairs will be in their mind to ask you when you will sit in the basically examination. Interview hall. So they can ask question. Tell me this issue is going on. So what do you understand by this? What is your opinion basically? Most of the current affair based question, they will take your opinion only. Do you think this is right things? Yeah, do you think this is what India should do? Like that they will ask. They will take your opinion basically. So keep your opinion very balanced, not radical. This is also very important. Next question. Hmm?
Four questions are there. This was last one.
Okay, okay.